Hello guys, Robout1 here, and today coming up to you with another video. Yes, as always, we are coming up to you with a video. Don't know why I always say that, but yeah, video time. So today I wanted to do another top video, a top 5 video, because I like doing top 5s, and top 10s are like editing is hell. But yeah, today I just wanted to do a video where I felt like this video is kind of just like what these decks kind of deserve it, and the video you should know about the title is the top 5 decks that deserve a Link monster. Now, what do I mean by deserve? I mean by how ruined they got by the Link format, how competitive they once were, and how much they just keep coming back, keep trying, and just how much fun people had with them. Because the first one on this list, I feel like people had fun with it, but they kind of never had the chance to have full fun with it because of certain cards didn't get released, and Konami just didn't feel like they would. So yeah, like this list, it's something for me to just give you guys my opinion on these top 5 decks that I think really deserve a Link monster. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little biased on some of these. I really am, because I've just got to be like, oh, I want these decks to get Link monsters. I'm not gonna lie, but some of them do deserve Link monsters at heart. I'm not going to deny that. And yeah, so let's get on with this list. So let's just go straight to number 5. So for number 5. Now, number 5 is a deck that I feel like it does deserve a Link monster, because the things that Konami did to it, the things that Konami didn't really give it a chance, it was more of a little roguish / tier 2, tier 3 deck. And this deck is Melodious. So yeah, why do Melodious deserve a Link monster? I'm also going to give opinions on what they should make the Link monster as well, guys. So I'm going to put a little more effort into it and give you the card that it should be based off. So yeah, the reason Melodious deserve a Link monster is because Melodious was really a deck that they didn't really get their time to shine. They were a deck that had all these good cards such as Aria, the Yugioh one, the Fusion, the one that searches polymerization as also a Cyber Dragon. They had all of this good support. They also had a Brilliant Fusion that I don't think they ever got. They might have, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think they ever got it in the end, which I feel like was really, really shitty on their end. And I really think that this deck does deserve a Link monster to kind of just give them another chance in the game. What they could do with this Link monster could potentially be anything, but my opinion is it should be a Link monster based on Aria. Yes, the one that is special summoned in defense mode, can't be destroyed or targeted by effects. Destroyed by battle or targeted by effects, so you can still Raigeki it away. That makes all Melodiouses like that. I feel like it should be based off that, and its upgraded version should be called Aria, the Digital Melodious Diva, or Melodious Maestra. It should take 2 Link monsters, and its effect should be when this card is Link summoned, you can special summon 1 Melodious monster from your deck or graveyard to one of the markers that it points to. And I feel like it should have 1 Link marker pointing down and then 1 Link marker pointing side. So basically like the Spiral Link monster. Kind of make it a little fair for them, and just a way to get the mini Aria out a bit easier. I feel like the deck deserves that kind of support, and I feel like it really does need it to be able to become somewhat competitive again, to a degree. So I can see this deck deserving a Link monster because it didn't really have its time to shine. All it really had was a few episodes in the anime. She did. I don't even think she won all her duels in the anime. Did she? In the speed duel, she kind of fell off a. No, not a speed duel. In the D-wheel duel, she kind of just fell off a bridge. Yuzu. Fun times, fun times. But yeah, Melodious, I do believe they deserve a Link Monster, but I don't know. That's my opinion. Let's move on to number 4, because number 5 goes to Melodious. So, number 4. So at number 4. Now, number 4 is a deck I think a lot of people can agree with me with. This deck will always get support throughout the ages of time and space and never-endingness. It's a deck that no matter how much support it got, it just was never actually able to come back into the meta. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going with Blackwings. Now, Blackwings do deserve their support, a Link Monster. They have been here for one of the longest times. They've been here since 5Ds when Crow was first announced in the anime, and it's been a fan favorite deck for a very long time. Now, ever since it originally got hit years ago, and the deck just wasn't able to come back. We've seen times when it's had some fun dimes. I believe it's topped regionals in the past after that. It's never really gotten really far, but I believe this deck really just does deserve a Link Monster, because it's a deck that really does need its extra deck. Like, Blackwings are a deck that no matter how often you play it, no matter how much you try to play it, you can never play it without a Link Monster, because the deck, sure, it's a Synchro-based deck, but it does need something else to be able to completely play. The deck is based on Synchro or something, and sure, you can still make some Synchro combos in this game, but I feel like giving Blackwings a Link Monster would be very, very good. And I think the Link Monster that it should be based off is, I think it's the right name, Kalute. The Whirlwind, Blackwing Whirlwind. I don't think his name is Kalute. The Whirlwind, the one that has 1300 attack points and just half attack. That's the one that I believe it should be based off. I never really played Blackwings myself. I'm just going by what I think it is. I think his name's Kalute. I'm not 100% sure though. But yeah, this deck I believe deserves a Link Monster, because it's a deck that does deserve it. Like, seriously. If you guys thought it didn't, and yeah, if you're guessing, I am looking it up because it's annoying me. But yeah, it does deserve a Link Monster, and if it was to be based off of this card, I feel like its effect should be... Oh, it's Gale. Okay, Gale the Whirlwind. Okay, I feel like Gale, it should be based off Gale. It should be based off Gale, definitely, because Gale is one of the best ones. Seriously, when you think about it, Gale has the ability to half attack, it's a tuner, and it has all its other abilities. But here's the catch: if this deck does get a Link Monster, I feel like it should be a Link free. Now, hear me out, guys. I feel like it should be a Link free because it's Blackwings. They need as many pointers as possible. And I feel like if we're doing it that way, the markers should be pointing corners, and then one up here in case you summon it to the main monster zone. So, it should be pointing, it should have 3 markers because of that. Or, you know, we could have one like here instead. So, 1, 2, and then 3. And I believe its effect would have to be... Oh, and also it should be called Blackwing Gale the Digital Tornado, or something like that. Just because, oh no, Blackwing Whirlwind, the digital, Blackwing Whirlwind, the digital stream. Whatever the link is called in variants, I can't remember the name. Oh, that's irritating me. Oh well. But its effect should be, if it has the effect, you can. When this card is Link summoned, search one Blackwing monster from the deck, because it won't be able to use Whirlwind's effect. I don't think it should have Whirlwind's effect where it halves attack, because that's kind of a outdated effect where halving attack doesn't really work. So I feel like when it's Link summoned, it does deserve to have like a search effect. So yeah, get Blackwing Gale the Digital Storm, yes, or Digital Whirlwind. Well, Digital Tornado should have that ability when it's summoned, but I also think it should have another effect. an effect that says, and if this card is pointing to a black wing monster, so if it's pointing to any black wing monster, this card has the ability to change its level. Now, why do I want them to be able to change this level? I feel like having a black wing monster that can search and change the level of any black wing monster would really help the deck, because the deck has the ability to go from like level 12s to level 4, I think the lowest is, maybe 5, and just having the ability to be able to go between the level of 4, just so you have, well, you can't make it stupid like level 12, so I think you would cap it between levels 1 through level 6, maybe. I feel like those are the caps. Like, I feel like the Link Monster should have that ability where it's just able to just change the levels of all black wings and have the search ability. I feel like with that, the deck will deserve it, and it will be able to come back with some sort of relevance again. And it will be actually pretty... I feel like it will be really good for that deck to actually get something like that. So... Blackwing Gale, the Digital Tornado, that's what I'm going to call it. I feel like this deck does deserve a Link Monster because it's been a fan favorite for a very long time, and it just hasn't really had its time to shine since it, you know, got beaten down by the ban list. It's just been like in and out, maybe have topped at regional or something since then, but nothing else really. So yeah, number 4 goes to Blackwings. I know I've been talking long on Blackwings, but you know, but yeah. So, Black Wings for number 2, well, for number 4, sorry. Let's move on to number 3. So, for number 3. Now, number 3 is kind of an easy one because I felt like this deck has been around for a long time. It got great support from a prize card, if you ain't guessed it. And it is a Light Swan. Yes, Light Swan. Even though Light Swan recently just got some new support, I feel like they still deserve a Link Monster. Because when you think about it, this deck has gotten pretty much every type of summoning except for Fusion and Pendulum, and I feel like this deck is based around easy summoning mechanics. Now, Fusion and Pendulum, they're not really the easiest summoning mechanics when you're doing a deck-based thing, because when you're looking at Light Swan, and the sun is really bright right now. Let's see if I can fix that. But yeah, looking at it in a nutshell, Light Swans like easy summoning mechanics. They really do. Fusion and Pendulum aren't easy summoning mechanics when you need a fusion spell, or you need to be able to have 2 scales, which a Light Swan will only probably have 2 if they haven't got Pendulum support. So I feel like this deck will get a Link Monster and deserves a Link Monster, because Light Swan, sure, they have a prize card. They have all this other support, but they deserve a Link Monster. And what should this Link Monster be based off of? This Link Monster should be based off of... Sorry guys, phone. Just mute that. This Link Monster should be based off of Raiden. Raiden, the Light Swan Warrior. I believe it's the Light Swan Warrior. We've got it right here, guys. No, the Hand of the Light Swan. I believe Raiden deserves to get this spot as a Link Monster purely because it's like one of the newer Light Swans that didn't really get an upgrade. Like, we have Lila, we have Lumina, we have Raiko, we have Jane. They all got upgrades. We have Minerva as an upgrade. I think Michael was an upgrade to someone. I'm not 100% sure. But looking at everyone, Raiden, I feel like, deserves the upgrade as well. And if we're going to give Light Swans a Link Monster, I feel like Light Swans should kind of get the Link Monster, a Link Monster that can mill. All Light Swan cards should have an effect that should mill. But it should be called, first of all, it should be called Raiden, the Digital Light Swan. Like, you just put digital in like any name to just make it links, and it's a digital thing. Like, that's easy. But you can also call it the Raiden, the Techno Hand of the Light Swan, or something like that. But its effect should be when this card is links, once per turn. Well, first it will take 2 Link Monsters, It should take 2 Light Sworn monsters to make, because getting multiple Light Sworn monsters is only easy if you can mill a lot. So it should have markers pointing straight down, and then I feel like it should have one either diagonal, maybe diagonal and down, just to go with that. It should have diagonal and down, either side will work, and its effect should be, when this card is link summoned, well, no, once per turn, you can mill up to 3 cards from your deck. If you mill a Light Sworn monster, if you mill Light Sworn monsters, this card gains 200 attack per Light Sworn monster. So just keeping to Raiden's roots there. It should also have the effect where, if this card is pointing to a Light Sworn monster, you can tribute 1 Light Sworn monster on it, to then special summon any Light Sworn monster from the deck. Now, why do I feel like Raiden deserves this sort of effect? Why do I feel like Light Sworns deserve this kind of effect? Now, when you think about it, it's a 1-for-1 effect. It really is a 1-for-1 effect. But why do I want them? Why do I think they deserve it? Now, Light Swans, sure, they have a lot of search and a lot of draw power, but that draw power is the draw power consists on you having a Light Swan in hand, and the draw power and the search power needs you to mill. Now, this deck mills a lot, so I feel like having this kind of ability to just tribute off any bad Light Swan monster you may have in hand, and then make it into a new Light Sworn monster, would give the deck a little more competitive ability, and just give them a lot more power. I feel like this would just give them the ability to come back fully in the meta, just make them a really good Link deck, which we all presumed would happen, but literally we ain't seen nothing from them. And I just feel like that would give them a little more boost and a little more power, just to be able to be good in this format, just be able to have some sort of ability to play in this format, which is something that I believe Light Swans should have, because they've been around for the longest time. I believe Light Swans have been back ever since the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe GX, I'm not 100% sure on that. But I do think this is a deck that does deserve to... just does deserve to have a Link monster. It's been around for the longest time, and they like easy summoning mechanics, so it would make sense for them to get one. So it does deserve it. So that was number 3, Light Swans. Let's move on to number 2. So at number 2, now of no surprise to anyone, this was gonna be on the list. This deck deserves it, no matter what any of you say. I feel like this deck deserves this. Just have a Link monster out of all of the rest, and this is Heroes. Now, Heroes on the last list got absolutely fucked by the Link summoning mechanic, because you can only have one dance, you can only have one Dark Claw, you can only have one whatever Xyz monster you want, you can only have one Extract monster, you can only have one anything, and that really does hurt the deck. Trust me, I've been testing it, I've been trying me Starboy, I've been trying all of this, and looking at it, Heroes really do deserve a Link monster, especially seeing as they've been one of the most fan-favourite decks throughout the entire course of Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially me. Absolute Zero is my profile picture after all. I love Heroes. But yeah, Heroes definitely do deserve a Link monster. They've been here for the longest time. They've been here for they just for a very, very long time, guys. They've been here evolving, they've been changing. Like, we've had original heroes of like Avion, Bastintrix, all of that. We've had Hero Beat, we've had Fusion Gate heroes, we've had Masked heroes, we've had Omni heroes, we've had Xyz heroes, we've had Water heroes. Like, heroes have been here for so long and just been evolving throughout all the years, and it really does make sense for this deck to get a Link monster, just so they can evolve again and go into the next stage. So, what do I think this deck should be based off? The Link monster should first be based off of Stratos. Yes, Stratos. Give it a way to come back. Please, Konami. Give me Stratos in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, it should be based off Stratos to begin with, and the effect of it should take 2 hero monsters to make. 2. And it should be called Stratos, Elemental Hero Stratos, the Digital Wind, or the Cyverse Wind, or whatever you want to call it. Just like Stratos, it has to have Stratos in the name, and it should be a wind monster. It needs to be a wind monster. It should take 2 hero monsters to make, meaning it should point both down diagonally, kind of like Deco Talker or Mrs. Radiant, just to give heroes that ability. It should take 2 hero monsters to make, probably with different attributes, just to make it a bit more balanced. So you can't be just going like double Shadow Mist or like double Bubble Man. Its effect should be, when this card is link summoned, you can special summon or add 1 hero monster from your deck to this card's link point or to your hand. I feel like giving that its effect is just an upgrade of Stratos. The card does deserve it. It just really does need this sort of ability to be able to bring heroes back into the game. Sure, it makes a 1-card Dark Claw, a 2-card Dark Claw, but it's fair. Like with the heroes the state they're in now. So yeah, I feel like they should have that effect, and they should also have this monster should also have one other effect. If your opponent would activate a spell or trap card, you can destroy 1 hero monster this card points to negate that spell or trap card. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, oh, that's busted, that's completely nuts. Notice how I said spell or trap card. It cannot negate monster effects, meaning it cannot negate things like Black Fang. It cannot negate things like Utopia the Lightning, not that I would be able to anyway. It cannot negate any monster effect in the game, so it can't negate stuff like it can't negate stuff like Kirin, Fairy Tail Luna. It can't negate any of that. This card can only negate spell and trap cards. Why do I give it this fame? Because Stratos originally had the ability to destroy spell and trap cards, so I thought editing it to this would be a decent effect boost. And of course, it would only have 1800 attack points, because otherwise it would be increasingly broken and you wouldn't be able to do much about it. So yeah, that's the hero link monster, and I really do think heroes deserve a link monster. They're one of the decks that have been around the longest, and they just really do deserve it. So yeah, at number 2 we have heroes. Let's move on to number 1. So at number 1, now out of all of these decks, I feel like this was the deck that just got hurt the hardest. I feel like this was the deck that just really does need a link monster to come back. Plus, I would love them to make a link monster in this sort of theme. So yeah, let's go. This deck is Performer Pals. Performer Pals were hit the hardest out of all the decks. Like, they're literally unplayable now. You cannot play Performer Pals. You can play like Sorcerer in an engine and Magicians, that's about it. But Performer Pals themselves are completely dead. With Pendulum Summoning gone, you cannot do much with them, and they really, really needed a Pendulum Summon of 5 to actually be relevant. So, what do I think their link monster should be? Because this deck really does deserve a link monster. And I believe it should be a Pendulum link monster. Yes, a Pendulum link monster based off Performer Pal Pendulum Sorcerer. And what's it going to be called? Performer Pal Link Sorcerer. Yes, we're just going to change it to Link Sorcerer, get rid of the Pendulum, because this is a Link Pendulum monster. So, what do I think this card should be able to do? First of all, it will take 3, yes, 3 monsters to make. 3 Performer Pal monsters. I feel like to make it somewhat balanced, you have to give it 3 Pendulum Scales. 3 monsters. Its Pendulum Scale, yes, because it's going to be a Pendulum Link monster, will be a Pendulum from 1 to 8. So, we're gonna mix it up a bit with having 1 on one side, and then 8 on the other. Because, like, they've never done that, and I feel like they should have so. That's an interesting thing to do. And I feel like its link markers should just all point down. They should all point down. This is a Pendulum deck. It really needs it, and if you're paying 3 monsters to make it, kind of deserve it. Now, what is its effect going to be? So, its effect's going to be, when this card is link summoned, you can add up to the number of Performer Pal cards you control to your hand, Performer Pal monsters. So, You've used 3 monsters. The reason I'm giving it this effect is because you've used 3 monsters to make it. There's probably 0 chance of you having more than 2 to 3 on the field, and plus, it's a card. It's a pet. Performer Pals really need something to just boost themselves, and to keep to the roots of Sorcerer, I felt like this. But it will have to. But Sorcerer will also destroy an equal number of cards that you add. So say you have 3 Perform Power monsters on board, including Sorcerer itself, because of the scales. You're going to add up to 3. If you add 3 cards, you're destroying Sorcerer itself and the 2 scales. So you have to destroy an equal number of cards. So that will balance it a bit. Its attack points will be 2,000 because of you've used 3 monsters on it. I feel like that would be fair, and I feel like that's just a fair number in general for the deck. So yeah. It'll be 1500, link free, pendulum scale 1 and 2, and 1 and 8, and I believe it should be able to be pendulum summoned as well. So I've given it this effect in gen as well. If this card is face up in the extra deck, you can then pendulum summon it back as a level 3 monster. So yes, this link monster, assuming it is a pendulum summoned, it will be considered a level 3. So it will lose its link arrows, and it will become a level 3 monster. So that will just balance it out. It will make it a fair card, and I believe this will just really give fairness to Performer Powers and a way to actually be good again. So yeah, that's the list, guys. I feel like all of these cards that I've come up with, I'm sorry if I've not got any actual created cards on the screen. I don't really, might have not had the time, or I may have just had to work or something like that. But nonetheless, guys, what do you think of these decks? Do you think these decks deserve Link Monsters? Do you think these Link Monsters I've come up with are fair and balanced and just really do deserve to get them? Tell me what you think in the comment section below, because I'm always interested to hear what you think. And tell me what you think, what decks you think deserve a Link Monster. Like, there's hundreds of decks out there. There are Shadows, there are Tellarknights, there are Clifford, which have already been confirmed to get Link Monsters, so yeah. There are Noble Knights, which they still suck, guys, from the last video. But yeah, these are just the 5 decks I believe should get Link Monsters. They deserve it. They've been around for such a long time. But yeah, guys, this is turning into a very long video. So yeah, tell me what decks you think deserve Link Monsters in the comment section below. And as always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Press the notification button to be notified of my future videos, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Robot 1, signing out. They deserve Link Monsters, guys. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and check out the links in the description for the previous video, and the link to my Facebook page where you can see previous videos that I've posted there, and any other information that I may have posted there. I hope to see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.